Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna make brown stewed chicken. Yes, so in my bowl right here I've got some leg and thigh that I cut, and I cut it in small pieces. Okay, so they are already washed and clean in some lime juice. Yeah, so these are all of my seasoning. Here I have 1 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning, 1 teaspoon of chicken seasoning, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I also have half of onion, at least 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme, and just a stalk of scallion, 3 cloves of garlic that I finely chopped, and just a small amount of scotch bonnet pepper, because I don't want it to be super spicy, so I just add a small amount. So I'm just gonna start off by adding some olive oil to my chicken. So guys, when I add my seasoning to it, the seasoning stick on it. Yes. Then I'm gonna blend all my seasoning together. You're just gonna add it like so. I'm gonna leave back a bit of it for my gravy, just this amount. Then I'm gonna add all my herbs. I'm gonna also add some pimento seed. You can always use the ground pimento. Some browning, but I'm not gonna add too much. I'm gonna add a little bit at a time. That's it for now. Then now I'm just gonna take my nice clean hand, and you just wanna mix it all in so everything will all combine. Okay, so this amount of browning that I had, this is good for now. I'm not gonna add no more. I add at least 1/4 teaspoon. So that's done, and you can always leave it to marinate, guys, for at least 30 minutes or even overnight. But if you don't have the time, you just cook it as it is. So now I'm gonna cook my stewed chicken. So here I have my pot and my stove, guys, and to my pot I add at least 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You can always use vegetable oil. Okay, so now that my oil and my pot is hot, I'm gonna add my chicken. But try not to add the onions, okay? If some of it gets into the pot, it's okay. But try not to make all of them get into the pot, yeah? Sometimes I normally just throw everything in the pot, and sometimes I do it this way also, but it still doesn't really matter. So now that I add everything, I'm just gonna give it a stir. I'm just gonna cover it, guys, for now, and just leave it for at least 6 minutes, okay? And my stove is on a medium to high heat. So guys, it's been around 6 minutes and now I'm gonna check on my stew chicken. Look at that. It looks super delicious. As you can see guys, it make a lot of liquid. Yeah, look at that. So what I'm gonna do now, the same bowl that I use to season my chicken, I'm gonna add at least 1 cup to 1.5 cup of water to it, okay? You wanna make sure you mix it all in so everything will all combine. And I'm just gonna add it to my stew chicken. Look at that goodness guys, I'm telling you, it smells so good. I'm gonna also add some more of my browning because I want it to be just a bit more darker, not too much. So I'm gonna add at least 1 teaspoon of my browning. So now that I add my browning guys, I'm just gonna add at least 1 teaspoon of salt and my remaining seasoning that I season my chicken with. I'm just gonna add it all like so. And I'm also gonna add 1 tomato. This is mouth-watering guys, I'm telling you, it looks so good. And if you have any ginger, you can always add some ginger to it. But I don't have no ginger. I run out of ginger. But if you have at home, you can always add just a bit. I'm gonna add at least 1/2 teaspoon of my garlic powder. And I'm just gonna leave it guys for now for at least 15 minutes, okay? Then I add my remaining ingredients. So I'm gonna cover my pot, so stay tuned. So guys, I remove my lid from my stew chicken. So now I'm just gonna finish it off with 1/2 of potato, 2 small carrots, and just a small amount of sweet pepper, otherwise as bell pepper, but it is totally optional, okay? So I'm just gonna add them all. And I'm gonna also add some ketchup, at least 2 tablespoons of ketchup. You wanna just give it a stir. I'm telling you guys, this is mouth-watering. It looks so good. And what the ketchup does guys, is just gonna add a lot of flavor to your stew chicken, and it also gonna thicken up your gravy, okay? But if you don't want, you don't have to add no ketchup. You can just, you know, just add the potato, because the potato also thicken up your gravy. So I'm just gonna leave it for at least 6 to 7 minutes and it is ready, good to go. If it need any more salt, any more all-purpose seasoning, you can always add. Yeah. So I'm just gonna cover my pot. So my stew chicken is all finished and this is what it looks like. Honestly guys, it looks so good. Super delicious. Make sure your potato and your carrot is not cooked out too much, okay? You want your potato to be nice and firm. This looks amazing. The gravy is nice and thick, and this is exactly how you want it. Perfect. So I'm gonna also make some rice and peas. So in my pot right here, I've got 2 cups of red kidney bean that I already washed. And I'm also gonna add, because I'm gonna cook my peas now, I'm gonna add 2 cloves of garlic. And what the garlic does, guys, it tenderizes the peas to cook faster. If you want, you can always use a pressure cooker, okay? And I'm also gonna add 1 teaspoon of my pimento seed. I'm gonna add some water, some boiling water. I'm gonna add at least 3 to 4 cups of water, just for now, okay? So my pot is all on my stove. And guys, if the water is reducing, you can always add more water to your pot, okay? So now I'm just gonna allow my peas to cook. Maybe take at least just over 1 hour, but I will tell you on exactly and how much, okay? So I'm just gonna cover my pot, or you can just off cover it so it doesn't boil over. And my stove is on a medium heat. You don't want to turn it up too high. So guys, my peas is all finished, and it's been cooking for at least 1 hour and 45 minutes, okay? So I just remove the lid. So I'm just gonna feel it for you guys and show you that it is nice and soft. That's exactly how you want it. That's perfect. So now guys, I'm gonna add my coconut milk to my pot, and I'm using the Grace coconut milk, okay? So this is the one that I'm using. You can use whichever one you have, but this one, I love this one. It really gives the rice and peas a nice taste, yes. So I'm just gonna add it all. Gonna give it a stir. So now I'm gonna add my fresh thyme, Scotch bonnet pepper, my spring onion scallion, and I'm also gonna add at least 1 teaspoon of my salt and 1 teaspoon of my all-purpose seasoning, ½ teaspoon of my black pepper, and some garlic powder, at least ½ teaspoon. I'm gonna also add 1 spoon of my butter, just gonna give it a stir, and I'm just gonna leave it, guys, for at least 5 minutes, okay? So just all those flavor will all combine together. Just give it a good stir. So the rice that I'm gonna use, I'm using basmati rice. You can always use whichever rice you have. So my rice is already washed and clean. And guys, I'm gonna use 4½ cup of rice, okay? Yes. It all depends how much you're doing. If you're doing more, you can add more rice. If you're doing less, you add less rice. So now that I add all my rice, this is what it looks like. And guys, make sure that the liquid is not too much above the rice, okay? Because you want your rice to be nice and shelly. If there is too much liquid, you can always remove it, yes. But this seems to be perfect, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is and just allow it to cook, okay? So stay tuned. So my rice and peas is all finished, guys, and this is what it looks like. I'm just gonna take my fork and rake it up. You can always remove the Scotch bonnet pepper, okay? As you can see, it is nice and shelly. Look at that. It came out perfect. So my rice been cooking, guys, I would say for at least 25 minutes. Because you know it's basmati rice, so basmati rice cook pretty fast, yeah? Looks so good. Look at that. You could just eat it on its own. So I'm gonna also make some steamed cabbage. So here I have one cabbage that I'm cutting. Just gonna take your knife and just cut it like this. Yeah, that's perfect. I love steamed cabbage. I'm using one small cabbage, guys. So now I'm gonna make my mixed vegetable. So in my pot here, guys, I have just over 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So now I'm gonna add half of onion, 2 cloves of garlic, and at least 4 cherry tomato that I cut up. You can always use, you know, the regular tomato, but this is what I have, so I just use the cherry tomato instead. Okay, so I'm just gonna add it to my pot. I'm just gonna allow it to saute for at least 1 minute. Yes. So now I'm gonna add my carrot just after 1 minute. I'm gonna give it a stir. I'm gonna add at least half teaspoon of my all-purpose seasoning, half teaspoon of black pepper, and now I'm gonna add my cabbage. Okay, you want to make sure, guys, your stove is on a medium heat. Don't turn up your stove too high. So after I add my cabbage, now I'm just gonna mix it all in. So guys, I'm just gonna add just over 1 tablespoon of water. You don't need to add a lot of water, just a small amount. Then I'm just gonna cover my pot and just leave it for at least 10 minutes for now. Yeah. This pot cover doesn't fit, but it's fine. After, guys, around 8 to 10 minutes, this is what it look like. Just gonna give it a stir. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some salt, at least half teaspoon of salt, some black pepper, half teaspoon of black pepper. You don't want to add too much. Some all-purpose seasoning, and that's half teaspoon, okay? And I'm gonna also add 1 teaspoon of butter, and you're just gonna leave it, guys, for at least 5 minutes, and it is finished, because you don't want your cabbage to cook out too much, because remember, it is steaming, so you don't want it to be so soft, okay? So this is everything: my rice and peas, my steamed cabbage, and my stewed chicken. Everything come out perfect. Super, super delicious. So it is all plated up. Guys, I hope you do enjoy this video. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and share this video, guys. Please share it to your friends, to your families, and everyone on your social media. I will really, really appreciate it. And if you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so you can receive more delicious videos like these. I'm telling you guys, this recipe right here is a must try. If you try this recipe, comment below and tell me what it's like. That's just some Kool-Aid I have on the side, gonna have with it. So guys, until next time, bye. Don't forget to keep laughing, keep smiling, no matter what, cause God is always on your side. Bye guys.